essentially left the meeting once a promotion happened, and then I was here. I'm just gonna step in a little closer here. Then ended up, from what I heard, worked a shift at Senior Buns with other command staff as some sort of I don't know how you'd put it,
retaliation.
protest. I don't know if retaliation's a word or protest is, but yeah, you understand what I'm saying. You know, in response to it, I guess would be a better way to say it.
Yeah. He felt pretty, I think, slighted. Because, you know, we'd had a high command meeting.
Oh, I haven't told Turner yet.
And I had brought up the idea of bringing Maxwell into high command. Everybody said that they didn't think it was a good idea at the time.
Hold it back. Hold it back. Oh man, this is this is
too
early of a conversation.
Then I was kind of
this is too early. Fuck, we may have to. We may need to bring it up today. God damn it, I'm not ready for this
conversation, and I ultimately decided to move forward with it. I will say that, look, I'm not defending the way that Trig acted.
Yeah, you are.
He, you know, threw a temper tantrum. But I will say that I made the mistake of not speaking. I mean, I let Peters.
Schmoz, thank you for the gifted sub.
Letting Sky and Eric know about the promotion before it happened. So I think he felt slighted that, you know, we'd had this conversation about it, and then then he finds out of the blue. You know, it was a shitty reaction, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do about that. Because
I bring it up. Why is he bringing my name up?
The
then?
more, like, now that kind of the dust has settled on all of that, you know, it wasn't okay. And
why were you crying outside of Bolingbrook?
I know Maxwell feels some kind of way about it, and Maxwell and I talked a little bit about it last night. And I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. Like, if it was the Eric Trig of a few months ago, who was a superstar, I think, you know, I would be more inclined to try to figure something out with him, but I mean, just the way that he's been acting the last month, and then this bullshit that he pulled earlier this week. You know, I kind of wanted to give it a couple days. I'd set expectations with him on like what is expected of him as a high command member, you know, and obviously you can't really see a change in somebody in a day, right? You need to...
Is he a child?
Give it a few days or a week to see if they're actually acting on what you've set.
Why does a captain need to be told what they need to do?
I don't think it honestly needs more than that amount of time, because it should be pretty obvious pretty quickly. Are you doing the basics, right? And if he's still doing the same shit that he was doing before, you know, riding with Stevie, like I look at Maxwell and I look at Mateo, and there's such a stark contrast between what
I feel
Eric
like
has been doing.
This is the problem that Nino has, is like Nino knows now that this is what we're hearing, and they're hearing something else.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I ask what the
punishment? Ask it, Turner.
What is that? Put into words. What are they doing that he hasn't?
I mean, they're managing the PD, you know. They're also, I think the thing that became very apparent since Haley and Mateo came into these positions.
God damn it. I wasn't ready for this meeting today.
Being able to really lean on them and giving them tasks and things to do, and they do it. You know, I don't have to worry about them not doing it. Whereas, you know, the last task that I gave Eric, he didn't do. He didn't do it. And I was, you know, I'm extremely disappointed that he didn't do it.
Damn it.
And that was before like
this is worse than not getting a 50/90 this morning.
But you know, for instance, with Haley, I have asked her to basically help get the detective unit started and work with the marshals.
And she did it all in like 2 days.
You know, Aaron and Doc, and make sure that like they're being supported, and that's all. You know, there's movement on that, which is really exciting. With Mateo, you know, he went into shift 3. I asked him to speak with Maple, find out what's going on in shift 3 because Skyface stepped down. So, you know, make sure that one, Maple's okay because he's the only sergeant right now, and he said he's fine. Apparently, you know, he's good. But then also, you know, like the thing that I told Mateo is that I wanted Maple to be included in decisions that happen for shift 3. He's the sergeant. He deserves, you know, to be included. I want to hear his opinion. So we gave his opinion about some people that, you know, could be brought up into the sergeant route. But I think that also from what I took from the conversation is that there's not a rush either. Like they're fine, you know, so we don't have to rush that whole decision. I already planned on making Espino's. I'm not sure if you know him. Espino's a sergeant. And I guess his name was one of the names that was brought up. So
wait, which meeting?
I told Mateo and Haley pull the trigger on that, promote him to sergeant.
Wait, the Nino one?
Another name was brought up.
Nino lost his mind too, hearing things too.
And he was
everything lined up.
Promoted
oh yeah, even for
senior.
Nino, he's
said,
like, wow.
Let's meet with him. Let's go over expectations. Let's, you know, kind of make a game plan for him, and then we'll work with him to move him into that role eventually, if he fits, right?
The role of sergeant.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think that there's a rush to or a need to do that at this moment. But obviously, I don't get to spend much time in shift 3, so I want to make sure that the people that we're putting in leadership in shift 3 are the right people. And so, you know, but just being able to rely on them, you know, I think has been a huge kind of weight off of mine and probably Peter's shoulders. And I will just say it's like night and day with Mateo. You know, his attitude, his demeanor. Like he always had a positive attitude, but just the confidence.
I feel like I hear one thing one day and then something else the next.
Confident is now that like
the problem that Nino's having is like Maxwell and Mateo, they're fantastic. But then when people are doing like actual like in role play bad shit,
extremely supported, and he's able to
like
kind
why
of act on that,
is there like
really
5x
nice
the defense, and that's where Nino's just
Eric,
lost.
To get back to, you know,
was he promised a promotion?
Was he promised a promotion? Before no.
Okay.
Like I offered him assistant chief a while ago.
Okay. Because he's telling people he's getting a promotion. So I'm trying to figure out why he's saying that.
Who's saying that?
Trig.
I offered him assistant chief a while ago. He accepted it, but then that was when he was really sick. So I said, let's put a pin in this and come back to it later.
Does he believe he's still getting it?
I can talk to him about it.
I got you.
Has he been let on at all?
I think if I don't think so. I mean, I think that if Trig stepped up and did all the things that he used to do and was that person, that assistant chief would be the right position for him.
Yeah.
Like co-assistant chief with Peters, but this Eric Trigg, like I don't know.
It sounded like it was a recent conversation, given he's going around telling everyone that.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's something that we talked about, but it's not promised. You know, it's something that if he, like I said, if he stepped up and actually did things, it potentially could happen. But right now, no, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's lying. It's true. Yeah. Was letting all of DOC know yesterday, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was he up talking to DOC?
He was working a shift at DOC the other day. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before.
I see. He's working senior buns at DOC.
EMS too.
He worked EMS.
Oh wait, you didn't know this? Yeah, he's doing EMS as well. Yeah.
Look, he talked to me about the DOC thing. He said that
Nino knows by that reaction. Yeah.
I don't think it was a great idea of his to work DOC immediately after all of this had happened. I think that was a bad look on his part, but look, if an officer wants to go and work at the DOC every once in a while, actually I think that's kind of a good idea. But I think his timing was very poor.
Well,
she's lying. I'm firing her.
I don't really know what to do, you know?
I mean, you spoke to him and set expectations, is that right?
Yeah.
And when was that?
A few days ago.
A few days
yesterday?
Ago.
Yesterday, the day before.
Okay, so 1 or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this is the first time I've seen him without some sort of, apparatus on his head or, in some way, shape, or form. He was in uniform. He was looking sharp this morning at the meeting. I guess we got to give it a little bit of time. See what comes of it. As you said, and I've said before to you.
I don't know. Like I said, I plan to give it about a week and see how he was doing, you know.
That's fair. But what about Ruby? Last I heard, you're setting up a meeting with Ruby.
Yeah. I had a meeting with Ruby. That was had a couple meetings with Ruby. The one that I told you about was good. We just kind of went over what was going on in shift 2. P&T, think she's looking to bring in some cadets, cleaned up the roster. Peters was there for it. Peters, do you remember anything specific about the Ruby meeting?
I don't. I think I ran out to get
I think it
food.
was pretty. It's just kind of a check-in. It was good. She wasn't super happy about the Mateo promotion. But ultimately, I think that Mateo is going to be a good resource for her and is going to take some of the, weight off of her for shift 2. And, allow her to do more things like she did tonight with that meeting, Mateo is around to be a support system for her. And, I've told him that, I expect when he gets on duty that he checks in with her, see if he can help her with anything. His kind of idea is more looking at shift 2 from like an operational standpoint and like, so that way that she can focus on, the officers and the cadets and everything and, making sure that just things are running.
Wait, what happened? Wait, intentionally?
Good. All right. She seemed like she had quite a bit of pep in her step in that meeting. That was good to hear.
The meeting was fantastic. I think she did a really good job of setting the tone at the start of the meeting,
Yeah.
Data center went belly up.
That's not exactly the Ruby I remember myself, so that's good to see. Energy's good.
Yeah.
Not the Ruby I know either, but
Avery Stone. She used to be a sergeant in shift 2, and she was P&T lead. She had to go out of town.
Chat, keep it clean. All right. This is in character.
And she
respect what was done thus far. You know what I mean? Don't get too
was still
overt.
Interested in the sergeant position and wanted to help out and wanted to help Ruby with P&T and everything. I told her, I was excited to hear that, but ultimately, I had to talk to Ruby because it's Ruby's shift, and I don't want to undermine or force a sergeant on Ruby, right? I still want the lieutenants to feel like they have that say. So Avery told me that she spoke to Ruby and let her know. So, I'm gonna let Ruby make that call, even if I want Avery as a sergeant, because I think she's wonderful. At the end of the day, Ruby needs to feel ownership of what she's doing.
I could agree with that.
I hear good things now and then lies another moment.
Now, Peters.
Yes, sir.
What's your opinion? You've been pretty quiet. What's your opinion?
I'm just listening.
Pretty much everything we've.
Yeah, I'm thinking Miles nailed it on the head. I don't really have much to say other than that. I think the trig stuff. I don't know. I didn't take the trig stuff as a mutiny. I think the optics of everything was bad for the time that Maxwell got hired, because obviously what Moss said about we kind of like agreed that we weren't going to promote her, and then we promoted her. Also, we kind of like let him know that his communication was lacking, and when the announcement was made, there was a comment made about like Maxwell bridging the gap in communication, which he kind of took as a slight against him. So,
I picked up on that as well, actually.
So that was that was the
he took that pretty personal.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming. I don't really know.
I mean, literally, Trig is telling people that it's over a disagreement on the decision with Maxwell. So, It was about the promotion.
How's Ruby been with you?
And he
I
voted
know you
against
were
her,
coming to shift
so
you for Ruby.
I used, like, you know what I mean? Like, how
Just spend
is...
some more time with Ruby?
For On Fire, yeah.
Oh, On
I mean,
Fire, I'm
for,
sorry.
yeah, well, for anyone, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, being that you've been around shift you a bit more, how's things been with Ruby for
Seems
you?
like it's getting better. I think the thing is
Like,
when there's no command presence.
Like, it's like, we can't pretend those
people
things
kinda
aren't
just fuck
related.
off and, you know, they just do whatever they want. I don't know if integrity is the right word, but it's almost like people are missing like I don't know if it's a lack of initiative. It's like it's like not having a supervisor at work and everybody kind of just is like, fuck it, we're doing whatever we want.
You're saying that as to how shift 2 is?
Was
Okay. And then Ruby's the factor in there that's changing that?
No, I don't know. I think
Or is it changing?
I'm not sure. I think Ruby does a lot of good work, but I don't know if Ruby's the best at handling tense situations. So I don't know if she just avoids them or people avoid her or whatever it is. I don't think I mean I think she's good. I don't want to discredit her for everything. She does amazing training, kind of like training and all of that stuff, but the thing I feel like, and I could be wrong, it's like this is just it could be a misconception considering I haven't been around that much, but it almost feels like if you're in Ruby Circle, you're good. If not, everybody kind of just does whatever they want, you know? Does that make sense?
Not too much, honestly. You're saying that essentially she has a following of
I
officers?
don't know. Well, I don't know if it's like following, you know? It's kind of just like
I'm just trying to understand. I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. I'm just give me an example of what you mean.
she kind of like keeps to herself and kind of like her friends, and that's it.
Even as a lieutenant, you don't really.
I don't know.
In?
I don't know. Again, it could be a misconception.
I don't.
You know, monkey see, monkey do it, to be honest.
Cadets, you know, I mean, when we have cadets, I will say that I agree with Peters. I don't think that she, from what I've seen, I don't think that she rides with a lot of people. But when we have cadets, she's taking out a cadet every single night, you know.
I feel like you guys like Medi
she
Chaos
takes the
Shake more
time
than
when she
Medi
doesn't have
Chaos.
cadets to kind of just, you know.
Which one do you guys like more?
I get it. Like, you know, when you have that sort of face-to-face constantly with people, sometimes you kind of just want to step back.
I see. So does she at least step in when you know lieutenant would need to?
It's more intense. It's two vibes.
She fills the
Oh,
role as lieutenant.
I would say so.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen her operate. Kind of like I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. I know. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, like I said, she seemed a bit more enthusiastic than I remember her. Seems like it was a good chat you had with her. Seems like you had a good chat with Trig. Although hearing some, as we've spoken about, some odd things about him. But if he gets his act in order, you know.
I don't know. It's the Trig stuff is really hard. It's like a really tricky situation because I know that he had a conversation with Maxwell last night and she didn't seem very happy afterwards. And it's kind of like I said, I see the just
Watch
kind of
it
the
be
stark
Tilly.
difference
That's the first thing I thought.
between Maxwell, Mateo, and Trig.
Why is everyone saying Tilly?
You know, just the support and everything that Maxwell and Mateo have been doing. And you know, like I said, I wanted Eric as assistant chief. I was hoping that he was gonna, you know, move into that role, and then he just continued to move further and further away. And I just don't think that, I don't know. I mean, it would have to be like night and day for him to I think even be considered for that now.
Wait, are we talking about? I thought we were talking about Ruby.
We brought up Eric again, so.
Okay.
I don't know what to do, to be honest.
I mean, if he goes back to the old, as you said, he used to be a superstar, then no issues, right? If he doesn't, then, and if he's, and now that you've had I guess you could say a bit of a idea as to what a supporting command staff below you would feel like, having Radich and having Maxwell, you know, if he can't meet to some extent those expectations,
It's
to get someone in that does, right?
It's
Nino's listening,
it's
chat. Nino's not going to react.
You know, you don't ever really want to talk badly about people, right? Because I think Eric has done a lot for LSPD. But God, it's I think just been extremely eye-opening. Just the last, like, it's been a couple days, and just
I'm going to put a gun in my mouth.
The complete 180 that has happened.
A couple days?
It's kind of a bummer thinking that, like, we could have had this support sooner, and I didn't see it, you know? I think that we could have gotten a lot more done with the right people, and that was a mistake on my part, you know. Not seeing I think the potential in Maxwell sooner, and you know, with Sky, for instance, you know, I kept Sky as a captain because I thought that we needed that for shift 3, and I was concerned about, well, if I bring Sky down from a captain, what does that mean for shift 3? Will she leave? Will she go, you know, she quit if I drop her down? And
the thing is, chat, like, from Nino's POV, like,
you know,
Nino feels like these conversations happen when Moss realized she screwed up and she needs to let us know she screwed up. And then it's going to be something else the next day.
It seems she wasn't really
right, and that's why Nino's exhausted. These are exhausting because, like, this is
she's anything before
a back and forth, 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 back and forth.
She'd been, like, considering it for a while.
Like, these are exhausting.
That's kind of it, right, Peters?
For very simple decisions.
Yeah, she said that she'd been thinking about it for the last 2 months, and that she never kind of, like, came forward, set everything up.
Like, even with the Sky thing, like, we knew that this was happening. Everyone knew in the PD that Sky didn't fuck with Moss and Peters, right?
Yeah,
and then the biggest nail in the coffin was, like, the Frost thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, if somebody's willing to jump ship, at least you don't have to deal with them, right? They're not going to sit there and backstab you and smile to your face and do the opposite.
She wasn't even named on it.
Not saying she was, but you know, I time to look forward instead of looking in the past. What could have been done? What should have been done?
No hate towards Sky, but like
Gotta
you
look at,
know,
how to.
she
how to
wanted
progress
in
from here, right?
BCSO. It was obvious she wasn't
starting
supporting
to
them.
already make
And that's okay.
improvements, and
It's a character
gotta
choice.
keep moving that
How do you
direction.
like take that on
if
to your
people
organization?
aren't on board with your
Like imagine I put like
vision
Edgar
of what you
on
want
the
PD
courts
to be,
team, and I'm like, yo, what up,
get someone
Edgar? I
in there
know.
that does.
You know what I mean?
Well, that does support you. I'm not saying a yes man. Having a yes man being surrounded by yes mans are terrible, right? Because you're never gonna get the truth out of everyone. Having somebody who will say something to you, will tell you no, that's what you want, but still believe in the ultimate vision that you have for the PD.
Edgar on courts would be content.
So someone's in a position, a role, a command role,
security,
high command,
Edgar,
whatever the case may be, that you don't believe is bought into your vision of what you want PD. And they're not fulfilling the roles that you need them to fulfill. You know what you got to do. It's not the easiest thing to do, but
No, it's not. I mean, that's why I'm just talking about the Eric stuff. Like I said, I'd give it about a week, and if it's still kind of the same bullshit, then as much as I don't want to, I don't want Eric to weigh the other captains down. That's one thing that's like kind of become clear is that, for the amount of work that those two take on, and then to have a captain that isn't fulfilling the same duties is unfair and will only kind of lead to resentment.
I think Eric does stuff though just differently. I don't. I mean, I've just been kind of listening.
He did, but I haven't seen him do much in like the last month. That's the problem.
Yeah.
To be fair, you're not on duty the same times he is. Like especially kind of like that early morning shift.
Are you?
So it's like
it is.
Yeah. Generally, I mean, I'm kind of around like an hour.
Okay.
I've been around an hour after the meeting until.
When's the last day he wasn't sick?
But even when he's sick, he's still doing stuff and he's helping people with stuff.
Okay.
I mean,
So, you're saying he's fulfilling the role as captain?
I think the honest to God truth is like I think he is. I mean, I understand he's like going through these situations. I mean, he gets hurt and then he comes on duty, but yeah, it's like I don't know. I think if I'm being honest with you, Moss, I think he is.
okay. I mean, I think
these two are definitely cooked.
Monitor it and see if he's fulfilling the expectations.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing those expectations with me?
I mean, it's mainly just making sure that he's checking in with the other captains, that they're all sharing the work, that he's dealing with internal issues and complaints, and just overseeing the department. Especially if Peters and I are not on duty, the three of them are
these two got like memory of a goldfish. I hear one thing yesterday and a different thing today. This is all
Have
bullshit.
You detailed out what that entails?
I'm gonna lose my mind.
I mean, I could go into more detail with him if you think I should. I think that it's just the day-to-day operations. Do we have cadets? Do they have keys? Are there court cases? Do we need high command there? Do we need to help people with or oversee
I could have sworn yesterday.
investigations,
I don't know.
are,
I don't
you
fucking
know,
know.
how is patrol going? Are people doing their job? Are people being overseen? You know, are there issues in the cells? You know, are we getting in complaints? How are those complaints being dealt with? How is command doing? Is command being supported? You know, is command doing their job? You know,
How do I have a better sense of PD than
I mean,
these
there's
guys?
many other little
Like,
things that you know,
I'm losing
we
it.
could go
I'm
into
losing it.
detail about.
I'm losing it.
I know, like I said, Maxwell right now, she's getting this new detective unit off the ground. She's also overseeing, I think, all of the upgrades.
Nino's not gonna
to
say
the
it because he's
cars.
already
She's
made his
delegated
decision.
That, so
You have
she's
to
overseeing
understand.
the
You gotta
officers that
understand.
are
Like Nino's
working
not
on
saying
that.
anything because he's already made his decision.
I think Mateo right now is just trying, you know, he just transferred, so I think he's still kind of getting his footing in LSPD, but, you know, just assisting people with what they need and, you know, kind of figuring out. Right now, what I want Mateo to be focusing on is building up that relationship with Ruby, you know, when I told him that. So I think that that's his focus right now, as well as going a little bit into shift 3 and kind of making sure that they're okay.
You know, I had a question that just kind of dawned on me. Do you all have a way to communicate between all shifts?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, some sort of chat room or something
No,
where y'all.
we do.
Okay, and do you actively use that? You know, hey, I assigned so and so to do this. You know, or
No,
you know,
fuck no. I'm not doing that. Respectfully.
I was going
No?
to say no. Personally, I prefer, like, it's one thing, I think, to set up like a meeting or something, you know, or like I use that to set up like a high command meeting because, you know, everybody has different schedules, instead of running around trying to find everybody and just say we're all meeting at this time. They say okay. But ultimately I think kind of face-to-face communication is better, and then if we need a report or something,
Face-to-face
to then
communication is
summarize
what
that
led to all these
conversation.
problems because
But,
there's
I will
these side
say
conversations where
there was an
people are being told
issue,
what they
I think
want to
it's an
fucking
issue,
hear to make them feel good
where
until they
there-
talk with each
you know,
other,
there are
and then
command
there's
reports, right?
mistrust that's sown.
And
That's not
what I noticed was
communication
happening
is the issue.
Somebody would make a command report about an incident or an officer or something, and then everybody from every department in command, doesn't matter what shift you are, would put in like their 2 cents about it. And it started feeling like a little bit like people were kind of dogpiling a little bit on the situations. And so I encourage people, instead of having conversations through the MDT, go have conversations in person, and then you can use the MDT to like summarize your conversations, but don't be like using the MDT as like instant messenger.
Yeah, people would prioritize any conversations they had over text instead of, and it wasn't I mean, this is going to sound weird, but it wasn't limited only to the city.
Okay, I guess to verify, I wasn't talking more like a text message back and forth, or
I'm just saying
I meant
text. Like, yes, I
think where we're going with this is like, you kind of have to practice what you preach, right? And while I do think it's good to have, you know, like a report or something to kind of summarize things, ultimately, you know, I prefer that our
Wait, Outer Worlds 2 is
communication
hold on.
be
Okay.
here face to face.
that's fair. I just know it's also very hard to get, you know, a face-to-face meeting with some people at times. So You all right?
Yeah, just the power going out, I think.
Oh. All right. Yeah, just keeping open lines of communication and some of the harder to reach times of the shift. But if you got a system that works, that you can by word of mouth talk to other command members and high command. It's working, so be it. But I've heard the word communication come up quite a few times in the past. Just trying to get an understanding as to where y'all are at with communications.
Yeah, I think it's something that we're working on improving, you know. It's I think it's getting better. But it's still just going to take time, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. It does take a bit of time, but you can see it moving in the right direction pretty soon, or fairly quickly, right?
I've been hearing this story though.
If it's moving that direction,
forever.
you'll see it.
Okay. Was there
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just looking at 301.
All right. Something I did want to check with both you and Nino is a way to not sure how we do it exactly, but here in radio communications, if I was able to do that, that's something y'all be willing to allow me to do.
What,
Yeah.
like sign on duty and listen to the radio?
Listen to radio, not
Oh yeah,
not
you're
on.
fine.
I
Yeah.
guess sign on duties
Do you still have
is
keys?
how we go about it. I do not.
Oh yeah, I can give you keys.
I'll make the transition that much easier.
What's your state ID?
1469.
You said 1469.
Correct. Yes.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. And I'm sure it's doesn't need to be said, but I'm not going to be responding to anything or talking on the radio. I just want to observe.
If you are gonna be doing it, you should probably be like inside Mission Row somewhere.
All right.
Just so they don't see a blip over at the court center or wherever and think you're kidnapped.
That's fair. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. What would you like me to adjust that in the MDT as? Chief?
What do you mean on dispatch?
Yes.
Like what your title is, or what do you
Right.
mean
I don't want to
exactly?
appear as an officer, so.
Gosh.
Maybe dispatch.
I don't. I'm just trying to think. I don't know.
Receptionist? Oh. This is like a drop down or some shit, right? Do you have to like put in a thing, or can you type whatever?
Yeah.
I think it's typed in on the MDT, right?
If you wanted to go sign in really quickly, we could look at it.
All right. Do I have to sign out of my my other job?
What's your
It's
other?
gonna automatically
All right.
sign you up.
Hey, listen here, Nino. You come up to me into my place of business and you conduct yourself like this. You think I don't know? You think I'm not fucking watching you, fucking guy?
I cannot see what I'm currently titled as.
Look.
I can never get
So you
over
don't
his
have a
face. It's
title,
so
you're just
like
TBD.
TBD, okay.
And then you're just listed as an officer on dispatch.
This is gonna be the-
I don't know. I mean,
Prior to this, I brought a cadet.
what is
And I turned him into the
your
chief of
role
police.
is?
Now we're gonna have a dispatcher
Public safety advisor.
become the chief next.
I mean, you could just set your call sign to that.
Checkmate, Reddit.
All right.
oh my god.
Must be one word. PSA?
Sure.
We were talking about Inspector previously. What about that?
Hello, Governor. Inspector.
Yeah.
Oi, bruv. It's me, Inspector Turner.
Inspector? That would you like there, Nino?
I mean, I mean, it makes sense, right?
All right.
You know that's a U.S. thing too, right, Peters? They're like, it's who they call in if there's what is it? The
Yeah,
Fuck.
when I need my plumbing fixed, I call the inspector.
no. There's like
Nah,
at post offices. Like, you know how there's like the inspector general, then there's also inspectors. So like if because if something happens in the post office, it postal inspectors come in to handle it. They're also considered law enforcement.
They're federal agents, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, that is correct. They work for the Department of Defense. Is it Department of Defense? I think it is. Yeah.
I don't recall. That's fair. I don't really even need a title, frankly. I just don't want people think I'm a kidnapped officer or something. You're at ED.
Oh, no, the Department of Homeland Security. That's what I'm thinking of.
Then I think if you just set, you know, set yourself.
Yeah,
as,
you're right. It's DHS.
10-7. You know, that'll let people know.
All right.
Okay. Oh my God, it's 10 o'clock.
All right. I think I remember how to do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. All right. And do you have offices? Were the offices built here yet?
No.
All right. Anybody use a room that leads up to the roof? Third floor?
Which room?
Double door that leads into a staircase?
Oh, no.
That a good spot for me to
Sure.
spend some
You
time?
know where I would go? I would crawl into that office. There's an office that's set up that I like to open the window to and crawl into where nobody can bug me.
Where's that at?
On the roof. It's crazy. It's like the chief's office, only we don't have access to it unless you open the window.
They still haven't built any offices here.
No, no.
Y'all don't have your own offices?
No, they said they were going to, but it didn't happen. It's all right.
That's what they told me. A year and a half ago.
I was told
All
this
right.
PD was going to be fixed 6 months ago.
Well, this will give me a chance to at least hear as to some things going on, and be able to have some firsthand views, I guess you would say.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. And obviously you're more than welcome to grab a radio out of the armory.
Appreciate it. Well, I guess we had the meeting that we ended up pushing back here a bit today.
Yeah.
Able to cover some of the questions that I definitely had.
That's it?
Okay.
That's all the questions you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up personally myself with how things were going with Trig and the conversation with Ruby, and even in the last few days I have seen some improvements.
Hey Turner, you want to hear a joke?
A joke?
Yeah, you want to hear a joke?
All right.
You like comedy?
All right.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because it was in a crosswalk.
No, to get to the dumbass's house. Knock, knock.
Who's
Not-
there?
The chicken. It's my new favorite joke. I heard it a few days ago.
I mean, how do you think things are going, Nino?
Compared to what?
I mean, just with all the changes recently.
I think it's too early to tell. Something can look good one day, and the next day it looks like ass. So, we'll see what it looks like in like a week or two.
All right.
Yeah.
Was there anything else y'all want to go over?
No, I've been.
Well, how do you feel, Turner? What are your thoughts?
Well, like I said, I think today was the first day I saw Trig in full uniform without any apparatus, and I think he's at least visibly
Apparatus, bro. His
seems to
word
be
choice was
making an
so
effort.
good.
He was at the meeting, not at Senior Bones. It's a step in the right direction, although a small one. It is a step in the right direction. Good to hear about Ruby. First time I've seen her since I was still a captain. I'm sorry?
But
It's still early to really say, everything's solved, right? As long as we're moving in the right direction.
Here we go
and
with the
improvements are being made.
pre-crying.
Excuse me.
I'm still trying to figure out how to fit that in. Nino always says it to me, so I'm trying to how to fit it into my vocabulary. I haven't figured it out yet. I thought I'd try it there. Did I do it right, Nino?
No. Pre-crying is when you know you're in trouble and you begin to make up a bunch of excuses before the conversation even begins.
Right. So
was I close?
No.
I think it's early to say for sure, everything's fixed by any means.
Yeah.
But I think we're moving in the right direction, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Did you say so, Peters?
Yeah. I think so.
Was that an honest yeah?
Are we moving in the right direction with what? Police department?
As the police department, you think it's moving in the right direction?
Now there's employees working down there and shit.
Okay. Are you using pre-sarcasm right now?
I'm using sarcasm. Yeah. What else would you be asking about?
Actually, there was some I wanted to ask you there, Moss. and Peters, when you talk to, I say specifically Trig, but people in general, are you blunt with them? Are you honest, or do you try to sugarcoat things sometimes?
Me or Moss?
Both of you.
It depends on the situation. I can be blunt, but I do sugarcoat sometimes, depending on who it is.
You still make sure, though, in the end, the reason for the conversation is you get that point across, right?
Yeah, I would say
you don't
so.
hide things because you're worried about the way it's going to affect them.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Well, I mean, what do you?
Oh
If you're about to have a hard conversation with someone.
Oh no! Oh shit! He's doing
you
it.
sit there. You have a problem with Trig. You sit there and tell him I have a problem, and you explain what problem you have.
Oh no, Turner!
How do you approach that conversation with him? I'm specifically using Trig because I guess in terms of PD as of lately, I'm most informed about Trig, and I've seen him operate. How do you approach him about this subject? Is it like, hey, Trig, I want to have a conversation, or Trig, my office, or Trig, we have a problem?
I mean, if if there's an issue, I think I'm pretty straightforward about it. If it's a performance issue or something like that, I just kind of tell it as it is. I don't try to demean people, but I usually try to focus on ways that they can improve. And like I said, expectations rather than kind of pulling out a list and saying, these are all the things that you're doing wrong, right? But rather, these are the things that I need you to do right.
So you haven't outright told him you're not meeting the expectations of a captain?
No. I've told him, I've set expectations with him, and I've told him I need him to do these things. But I haven't outright said, you are not meeting my expectations.
Okay. Now, people have different ways of communicating, so I'm not saying it's right nor wrong. But you believe he's aware he's not meeting those expectations by those conversations you've had.
The thing is, Nino's not going to say what Maxwell told him.
Okay.
Because he's going to respect her talking to him in confidence. But you have to understand there's a reason why certain things aren't being brought up.
What about you
Fiend,
there,
thank you for the
Peter?
10 months. And Turner doesn't know about those things
I
yet.
think I'm pretty blunt.
What's your conversation with Trig been like?
I didn't have any issues with Trig. I understand he got hurt, but I mean, I think the man does a lot and he takes a lot on. And then when he got hurt, I was like, okay, it is what it is right now. You know, I think he's done a lot to support. He's consistently doing traffic stops. I think I expressed it earlier, but I was under, I should say, I have a different opinion on him.
The problem is Trig is a great cop. The question is the
That's actually
captain role.
interesting.
The
Can we
question
touch
is the
up on that
destructive role.
between both Moss and Peters here. What you believe he's doing a good job or meeting the expectations, Captain Moss does not.
Zero
where's
Sand,
this,
think of the 5
getting lost in
months.
translation here.
Well, I think it's because I think for me personally, I backed off of Trig when he was sick. You know, I kind of was like, he's sick, I'm just gonna leave him alone and not ask too much of him. And so I stopped leaning on him for things. I'm not sure about Peters, you know, what he did during that time. But I noticed from what I saw and heard that, you know, he was just kind of riding around with Viv and Stevie, and I didn't really see much else from him, you know. But you know, Nino and we did talk about him, and Nino expressed his concerns, and you know, some of those concerns I do agree with. That, you know, it kind of it was kind of getting to a point where I was just even struggling with the idea of him being an officer at all, because
It went from
ultimately,
reckless
you get hurt when
endangerment
you're an officer,
to
and
promotion.
when he was getting hurt, he was having these really serious side effects to getting hurt, like losing his ability to speak English, and then he had that temporary blindness. And I was kind of struggling with the idea of, even, is this the right job for him with those injuries, you know? What is going to happen next?
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, that's something that we talked about, and, you know, he did acknowledge that from time to time, you know, he might get injured, something might happen, but he assured me that he is here to support me, to support Peters, to support Haley and Mateo, and that he wants to be, you know, a resource, and he wants to help the police department.
I assume this was yesterday.
Yeah, it was
Basically,
either
okay.
the initial day that we talked, or yesterday. We had two conversations. We had the first conversation about him stepping down from captain, and then we had a follow-up conversation, I think,
Like there was
yesterday.
a conversation about him stepping down.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
Well, it was just kind of the things that I think I talked about earlier. About him being slighted and the reason why he went off duty and everything. And
That was
issues with communication,
finally.
and that he said that, you know, he considers captains being advisors to myself and Peters, right? To ultimately make decisions for the department and, you know, policies for the department. And while we don't have to take his advice, you know, kind of also, you know, like with Maxwell coming to an agreement on something and then not relaying to everyone after the fact that, well, I'm still going to move forward with this. He was kind of like, why am I even in high command?
That's a good question.
I guess I somehow missed that earlier when you mentioned there was talk about him stepping down.
I'm sorry. I didn't mention it. I guess I thought it was. I thought.
Mm?
Did you not know that he stepped down, or that he was trying to step down from captain?
No, not. I don't believe so.
I think I assumed that you knew that. I'm sorry.
Wait, when did he do that?
I don't know whatever day. When
Like
did
this-
you talk
like
to
this
him,
week?
leaders? Yeah, it was earlier this week.
3 days ago.
So how did he go from that to saying he's getting promoted?
That's a good question.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, we talked about the assistant chief position a while ago, and then in that conversation that we had, I said that this is still something that I would like to see for you in the future, but again, I need to see him make these steps. It's not a promise. It's a goal, but I don't know if he'll get there.
When was that relayed to him? Last. I'm just trying to understand his mindset of going from I wanna was it demote to I'm getting promoted. Which there's only 2 spots you get promoted to, which is assistant chief of chief. I'm just trying to understand here. That's all.
What do you mean exactly? I mean, I think I just said it, you know, on trying to remember Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Eric and I had a long conversation about everything and about him potentially stepping down or staying a captain. And during that conversation, we talked about the assistant chief position because it had been offered to him in the past and he accepted it, but then I said no because he was sick at the time, and I said, this is something I still want for you, you know, down the line, but only if it makes sense. Only if he gets to that point where, like, if he's old Trig again when it was originally offered to him.
It seems like he believes he's getting that position. That's why he's going around telling people.
I have to talk to him about it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good chance some things here are getting lost in translation.
Yeah.
Probably good to have that chat with them.
Translation is something else.
Look, it's hard right now because I'm debating on whether or not he should even be a captain. You know, if he steps up and he does the things that I want him to do, I want to see him supporting.
I gotta run back that
Maxwell
last track. This is a little too
and I want to see
poggy.
him doing, you know, being kind of that leader that he was before, I could absolutely see him in that position, but right now I don't know. With everything that happened and him storming out and having a temper tantrum, it's really hard to say.
The day you and Peters went to go look for Trig over at Bolingbrook, how did that go?
What, the day I was crashing out?
I don't know.
I went over to Bolingbrook.
Excuse me 1 second. I gotta go use the restroom.
I went over to Bolingbrook. And Eric was doing a tour. I didn't tell him I was going there, but I figured, I'll just go over there and see if I can talk to him. But he was in the middle of a tour. I was waiting out in the lobby. I was being dramatic, and he came out, and he just went on about his tour. Peters came up there. He said hello to both of us, and then I saw Viv and Stevie were with him, so I was kind of like, all right, I'm not going to try to talk to him. I think we had actually spoken about talking later, or I called him and we were going to talk later. I can't really remember. But then Peter said hi to Viv and asked her, are you going to come back on duty? And she was saying, oh, well, I just got shot, so I'm taking some time off. And it was I'm not going to lie, it was a really awkward conversation. And then they left.
What was awkward about it?
I think the way that Viv was talking.
Why you gotta make me do this, Moss?
She seemed kind of coy during the whole conversation. She just didn't seem.
Why do you
like
gotta make me do this?
herself,
Why can't you just be honest?
It was just it felt uncomfortable.
Oh, God damn it. Ugh. How's your piss there, Peters?
Amazing. Thank you for asking.
All right.
My
That
penis
was
is
quick.
working.
You wash your hands?
Nope. My dick's cleaner than my hands are. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
I'm not sure what that says.
Yeah. How is your dick cleaner than your hands?
Well, I'm not using my dick to touch everything in front of me.
Anyway.
You know, that does make sense. All right. Yeah.
All right. Nino, was there anything else you want to cover in this?
No, not really. I've haven't really had much time to think about what we were going to talk about today.
All right. Moss Peters, was there anything else y'all want to bring up?
I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. this conversation feels off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Off in what way?
I don't know. It just feels
Hmm.
like I don't know. Something just feels weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because Nino's not yapping. I don't know.
Usually in these meetings, I let Turner do the talking.
I don't believe that for a second. Do you have food, Moss?
Yeah.
You got food. Yeah, so you're saying you normally let Turner do the talking? This is the quietest I've ever heard you. I don't.
Turner?
Yeah, okay. Okay, what's going on, Nino?
Ask him.
Okay, Turner, what's going on?
No. I mean, in these kind of meetings, I tend to let Turner talk. I mean,
Am I? I think I'm
You haven't attended
picking
them.
up what you're putting down, Moss.
Yeah. Give us just Peters.
Yeah.
Come over here, Peters. Just one sec. I got it.
Yeah.
Spreadsheets.
Absolutely.
You know, just
Yeah.
Wait, spread cheeks? What did she say?
Spread sheets.
Oh, spread.
They don't tell us that because we're talking to the fucking Riddler over there. Oh shit, I'm not whispering.
You think they know?
Every meeting that I'm with you in, I tend to let you do the talking. So I'm sure they know something's wrong, but that's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, Nino. I know we'll talk later, yeah.
Yeah. There's also other things that more context to this. I got more information, but
oh,
Should we tell Nino now that we're quitting?
you might need to make that decision a little bit sooner, maybe.
I'm not prepared to do that.
Good. This is what I got to deal with every day. A little bit of pushback, a little bit of heat.
I mean,
Yeah.
They're not just standing idly either, though. They're making some changes. They're making progress.
Yeah.
There is good coming out of this last week.
Yeah, and who had to drive it?
Well, maybe they just needed their little motivation, a little bit of help, get them going.
Lies don't help.
That's a whole nother subject within itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't disagree. Trig finally wore a uniform this morning.
Yeah.
Seemed to appeared to be back up in good health.
I mean, I would be too if it was a promotion on the line.
Yeah, did I understand that right? Moss had a chat and still appeared to offer it to him, almost dangle it to him. Did I understand that right?
Oh yeah, like I said, that's
How was Peters feeling sitting right there?
I think he's checked out. So what's happening right now is it can sense some instability. So when I mentioned pre-crying, that's what this is. They know they're in trouble. They know something's off. And they want an answer now. So they're going to come back with an emotional response. But I don't
What are
take
you
well to
predicting?
that. I predict they're going to come over here and demand to know exactly what we're thinking right now so they can react to it. It's typical behavior.
Not do anything rash, all right?
No. That's why I've been keeping quiet. He is so fucking good.
Excuse me.
So, are you just gonna keep pussyfooting around, Nino, or are you gonna do it?
Do what?
You know what? Don't play coy with me. At least give me the fucking. At least give me the. What is that called? Not decency. I guess it could be decency. No.
Courtesy?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, not even courtesy.
All right. You're doing a great job. I'm really proud of you, too.
Okay, you're a fucking liar.
Just gonna wait here, I guess.
All right. You guys got anything else for us?
Oh, we're wondering if you got something you'd like to say.
I didn't want the meeting today.
Well, you did want the meeting today.
I mean, we're all
No.
here.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I think we discussed some very important topics, but there's some homework I need to do, including a expectations sheet. So until I got time with that, do another meeting whenever you guys are around. But until then, pretty good work. You got some captains in place. Things are moving well. You guys are doing fantastic, but I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not willing to say that things are going in a good direction just because they were good for a day. If that's what you want to hear from me, it's not going to happen.
He's lying to us right now.
Yeah, I know he's lying.
Yeah. I'm lying?
Do something.
Do we want to talk about lying? How about you be honest for once,
Okay.
boss?
Excuse me?
You heard what I had to say. How you actually
Heard it.
feeling?
What do you mean?
I'm asking. How you feeling?
How am I feeling? About what?
Well, you feel a kind of way, so why do you feel a kind of way?
What do you mean?
Well,
Stop riddling.
I'm asking how you feeling.
How am I feeling? About what?
Well, I mean, you guys went over there, had a conversation. You're saying I'm lying. What am I lying about? Why are you feeling the way you're feeling? What do you think is happening?
What do I think is happening?
Yeah.
It feels like this was a performance review.
Like every meeting we have is a performance review.
Yeah, I don't know. This one felt a little bit different.
Yeah.
No. This one felt like you were stroking your dick in front of us.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
don't know.
Yes. This one feels like you're just literally Turner's talking, and you got your Jergens fucking just pumping that shit with a box of Kleenex next to you.
All right. Okay. I'm
So
tired.
instead of
I'm-
saying that everything is fantastic and that we're doing great, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
I feel that when you sent me a text, when I sent you an email saying I'm not ready for a meeting today, yet you wanted the meeting anyways, I came here, right?
Well, we were
And-
going to meet with Turner.
Right. And so I attended, right? And so when you ask me to tell you what my thoughts are before I'm prepared to give my thoughts, I feel like you want me to say something, right? But I don't really have an answer. It's really that simple. And I think you're kind of pressuring me to say something without any thought behind it. That's exactly what it is. As for stroking my dick, etc., Peters, you weren't at the last 3 or 4 meetings that we've had with Turner. I do tend to keep quiet. How much did I talk in the last meeting we had over at the court center? You, me, Turner, and you, Moss. How much? Who did most of the talking?
Okay. I don't really remember you talking, so that's fair.
And then Turner, who did most of the talking between you, me, Redditch, and Maxwell. What was it, on Tuesday?
Myself and the Gabs did a lot of the talking.
So I think you're kind of digging for something that isn't there. Now, if you want me to pat you guys on the ass for doing a fantastic job, I mean, I can do that. But the conversation was, how do I think y'all are doing and how things are looking? I'm not going to go off one data point on today's performance and say, hey, we're going in a great direction. Maxwell's promotion, good? Sure. But there's been a lot of fucking damage the last 2 weeks, and I refuse to give a very positive assessment until we see how things go the next week or so.
I think we've all admitted to it taking time. It needs a bit of time to truly show its true colors, but a step in the right direction has been taken. I think we can all agree with that.
What are you talking about? A step in the what? It felt like we just talked in circles here and got judged by Nino while he was stroking it.
My job is to judge the LSPD.
I know, but how is that a step in in the right direction?
I'm not talking about this conversation. I'm talking about the PD. Two new captains.
My bad. I thought you were
conversations that were had.
Well, I just understood.
No. I'm saying we're moving in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction at the very least. You're not going to see.
What was y'all's expectations? You seem disappointed. Did you want me to, smile and be happy?
I'm not disappointed.
Well, it seems like you guys wanted to talk about like energy, this, that, and the third. You want me to tell you I'm exhausted? Fucking 12 hours, 70 hours the week before. Hearing this problem, that problem. Fucking having to witness what I witnessed over the last week. You know what I mean? And say I'm happy? No, I'm not happy. I'm happy things are not completely a disaster, sure. But I'm not going to celebrate over it. I'm not going to celebrate over the fact that the chief of police is crying, talking about how she wants to get fired in front of a bunch of DOC officers.
I beg your pardon?
That's what all the DOC's saying. Saying that you want to get fired. Did that happen?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. But I won't let you.
You mean that never happened?
Yeah. Well, these are the kind of stories that are getting stirred up. Now I'm bringing it up because this is the shit this is how bad it's gotten. It's turning into a fucking goddamn soap opera for Trig getting sick. The amount of damage that's been caused, you see bits and pieces of it, right? But
the amount of damage that's been, what was DOC saying?
well, according to DOC, multiple DOC brought up the fact that they saw you on the ground, face covered, and they're saying that you've been trying to quit, but you can't quit. And that you're not going to get poor Trig back.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was putting on a little bit of a show, I'll admit, when I was at Boiling Broke.
Yeah. All right.
But I didn't say I wanted to be fired.
Look, I have no idea what was going on up there. I also don't know what's going on about Trig going around telling all DOCs getting promoted.
I will talk to him about that.
So what did happen up there then?
Yeah.
In your words.
What happened at Boiling Broke? I mean, I told you guys. I was being dramatic.
Yeah.
Look, I don't act dramatic very often. The crash out, as they say. I was laying it on a little thick.
Yeah.
And I guess it was taken some kind of way.
You didn't state you want to get fired or quit or anything like that along those lines? You didn't say anything like that?
No.
I had 3 separate DOC call me about that. So they themselves could be adding on to the star.
That's very peculiar. If we're hearing from 3 different people about it, and you're saying that never happened.
I'm
I
trying
was
to
there.
think
It never
what-
happened.
Right, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm at a loss for words right now.
I mean, why are you just bringing this up now?
Because I didn't think it was relevant. But these are the kind of things I process.
I'm
There's a lot for
sorry,
me to
Nino.
process.
I'll be honest. It wasn't too serious. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I have a pretty good relationship with the DOC, and maybe I was being a little bit more over dramatic than I normally am.
They didn't take it that way.
Yeah, it was obviously taken a different kind of way.
Yeah. It's also going around like I got you trapped here in the job. So,
I mean, I'll admit sometimes, I have brought up to you a few times about getting a new chief, and every time it's been brought up, it's kind of been brushed aside and not seen to be taken seriously.
Okay. Really? So which one is it? Okay. Wait, so is it true or is it not true? Because I feel like I'm hearing 2 different things.
No, but I'm just saying that I have brought up to you multiple times about getting a new chief.
Yeah. I believe the last time was the impression that I needed a chief in shift 1. And I said that wasn't the concern, but the concern was needing someone in shift 1 to be high command, where the Maxwell conversation came from. It's the only time I can recall.
No, we've talked about it a few times, and you yourself even said,
How you guys
that-
walked in.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, when I brought up, you're talking about when I asked you guys if you guys have walked in the last 2 months? You still want to do this?
We've talked about it at least twice. I think
Okay.
Peters was there one time, and then me and you had talked about it another time.
Okay. You and I spoke about it, I want to say, the day or either the day after or the day of the third term. I don't remember any other times. I mean, maybe they happened. I just don't remember. But either, I mean, neither here nor there, right? How do you feel right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
About being chief?
Yeah.
I mean, I said it the other day for the first time in quite a while. I actually felt excited about the PD, and I felt excited about the direction of the PD. With Mateo and Haley as captains, and seeing just the immediate kind of progress and the like, it feels very different, and it's nice. But I still stand by what I have said to you before, that I can't be around that often, and that
I don't know what any
things
of this
happen
means.
earlier in the day when I'm not available. And I still think it would make more sense to have somebody in this position that can be around.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
Look, I'm sorry about the prison stuff. That was my bad. I think
Hold on now. I don't think you should apologize for that. I didn't hear you once say that you wanted to quit. I mean, if you were upset over the trig situation, I don't think that's fair.
I
You don't
never
gotta
said I
tease.
wanted to quit. I never said I wanted. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, you don't need to apologize for that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you didn't say it, you didn't say it.
But regardless, like, you know, me being dramatic and stuff, you know, obviously that got.
Did you say it in any other kind of way? I'm trying to understand. I'm still kind of jammed up on like.
I don't think so. Like I was just talking about Eric.
You didn't get asked like, did you get fired? And the response was, I've been trying to get.
No.
Okay.
I really don't know.
All right.
That sounds like something I would say.
Okay. Why does Trig think I'm the reason that Maxwell is a captain?
Well, you are.
You weren't in the conversation, Peters.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about now. I mean, when that decision was made. Wait, why do you think that?
Because he wanted her to be captain.
Okay. Who made the decision for captain?
For Maxwell?
Yeah.
Me.
Okay. Why does Peters think I'm the reason?
Because I think you were the one that initially brought it up. We weren't considering her for captain before that,
gotcha.
and you were pushing for it.
Yeah. I got you.
Ultimately, I mean, you are a part of it, Nino. I'm not going to deny that.
This is why
you
we're
know,
changing. Okay.
The fact that you said that you need a high command member in shift 1, you need somebody to be able to speak to. Maxwell's the obvious choice for that, and because
Yeah.
you know, I know you two do speak.
Yeah. So what led to the decision? What was the ultimate reason you picked that?
The reason why we promoted Maxwell at that time was because I wanted to bring Mateo in as a captain. And we needed to make Haley a captain before we brought in Mateo.
Wait, so I want to make sure I understand this correctly. Are you saying that Haley was promoted so that Redditch could be brought in?
The timing of it. We went ahead and moved forward with it then because Radich was going to transfer in, and I couldn't bring him in as a captain.
Wait, that happened before?
That's not fair to her. We'd already talked about Haley becoming captain, but I don't know that we would have moved so fast on it.
But what led to it, right? Because I'm hearing... yes.
Who are you? No, I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
Who are you hearing from? Because
Yeah.
the only people you should be hearing from are Peters and I, because we made the decision. So I don't know who you're talking to,
Yeah.
but maybe talk to the right people.
Yeah.
Who are you hearing from?
Who am I hearing what?
No, you said, I'm hearing. Who are you hearing from?
What, the DOC?
What the fuck does the DOC know about Haley's promotion?
Welcome to my fucking tantrum, right?
I don't know. What fucking DOC are you talking to?
Well,
because it sounds like
what?
People know a lot of shit that they shouldn't know.
Good.
How are they finding this out?
That's a great fucking question. Well, let me
because
let me
I will just hold on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
The conversation that Peters and I had that ultimately we, pulled the trigger on Haley, I've not talked to anybody about that conversation. So I don't know how the fuck anybody else has an opinion about that or knows anything about that.
Do you not remember the conversation you, me, and Turner had?
That was before Peters and I talked.
Right. So where am I fitting into this?
No, I'm trying to find out what are you hearing and who are you hearing things from about Haley's promotion?
I think you might be getting confused here. Why is Trig suggesting I am the reason that the only reason that Maxwell is promoted?
I don't know, because Trig has his own opinions about things.
Right. Does he not know what happened?
Speak on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want me to.
Yeah. Talk on it.
We were actually talking about bringing Maxwell into high command.
Yeah.
Like a week earlier. And
I've been told this. You guys all voted no. Yeah. You already told me this.
Right. So then the optics are you approached Moss.
Which is why the vote even happened.
Right. So, I mean, that's why it comes back to you.
Okay, so does High Command not understand why she was promoted? I'm confused.
No, that wasn't the question. I think Maxwell's great.
Okay.
Like I mean,
let me. Here from my perspective, right? I brought up Haley a number of times because I needed someone in high command because I was dealing with a guy with medical issues, completely useless as far as the mayor's office is concerned or anyone else in the city, because you're either hearing welcome this, welcome that, or non-interest playing fuck games, and hence the Haley conversation came up. That conversation between me and Moss here consisted of, hey, Maxwell would make for a great captain. And in that conversation, I believe you stated, I don't know if she's ready yet. And I asked, well, how is she not ready when she's running the entire shift? And even if she isn't made captain, she should at least be given a set of goals, regardless of what the rank is, at least given the steps necessary for her to get to the next level. Next level doesn't need to come with a rank, just career like progression. Then came the vote. I was told about the vote by you, Moss, that you guys decided not to promote her. And the subject was kind of left there. The follow-up conversation was between you, me, and Turner, in which Turner asked, who are your superstars? I don't remember the full extent of that conversation. And that's when the rhetorical question was posed by Turner. Well, why not Maxwell? And then, as far as I'm concerned, a day or two later, Maxwell became captain, right? So, how does... Where my confusion comes in is, where does Trig come across thinking that I pressured that decision? I asked for that decision. I pushed for that decision. So it's either one thing, the guy is just kind of either completely in the fucking dark or he's spinning shit, right? And I want you to understand from my perspective, right? This is like one of a bunch of other shit that there's... it keeps bubbling up my way, right?
With Eric or with other stuff?
Yeah, you could say with Eric. Yeah. And the DOC and the like, this is happening with Moss at the thing, and he's telling people he's getting a promotion, and Nino's the reason that Maxwell is a captain. Because, if this shit's going around like a DOC and God knows where, it's where, what am I supposed to believe, right? Or like, it shouldn't even be out there to begin with. Are you
implying that Trig is kind of going around talking shit about Maxwell?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question, like, why does he have this perception? Does he know why he was promoted? Like, what led to it?
Yeah, so the again, going back to that whole thing, so Trig wasn't included in the next vote. Originally, we agreed not to do it yet. And then she was promoted without talking to him, which ultimately led him to believe that you were the one that pushed for it.
So that to be the case?
I have you talked to Trig about it?
I actually tried to speak to Trig, yes. But you are the ass chief. I'm asking you, does he know what the decision was? Like, does High Command know, like, why she was promoted and what led to it? I don't know why I should be the one clearing it up.
I didn't even know there was an issue.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it was necessary to spell out to him because in his own words, he said, Haley's great. She works so hard. She deserves it. So it's...
What was his reasoning again?
I did say to Eric, though.
I'm not bringing up anything that Maxwell did.
This is part of it.
Yeah.
Is, I said, part of Haley's role that she's fulfilling is kind of the liaison. She fulfills that role of speaking to the mayor, of handling those issues, and that's part of the reason why I wanted her in that position. But that's not the sole reason why she was promoted. But I don't know.
I know that, but apparently he doesn't. So I don't know who's stirring all this shit up, but
it sounds like it sounds like just that. It sounds like stirring, and that people are taking one part of the truth and running with it.
Okay. So yeah. That's why
Get all parties in one room.
That's not a bad idea. I feel like that's always why it's a key thing to get, when it comes to this kind of stuff, have everyone there. You know what I mean?
You want to schedule a meeting with High Command anyways, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I don't know. Yeah.
That's something everyone's still on board for?
Yeah. I didn't schedule it because all the changes that happened. Peters isn't gonna be around this weekend.
Yeah, we can
so it'd have to be next week.
We talking Monday or Tuesday or?
I don't know.
Nino knows these are lies. We just need her not to quit for a little bit. So, yeah. All right.
I think I don't know. This is a mess.
Yeah.
And people talking in other people's ears and
yeah.
Half truth, full lies, and some truth, and it's a mess. So, truthfully, the way you avoid this is by going to the source and being blunt and honest and not beating around the bush when you're
Why not tomorrow?
or answering questions.
Nino's not gonna get pressured into saying more than he has. Yeah.
When it comes to work, at least.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't have brought these things up until I was ready to bring it up. Because I gotta wrap my head around this. How much I want to believe it, how much I didn't. So, and obviously with some things, I don't think it's necessary bringing it up until like I myself want to know why are these rumors going around, and it's unfortunate I brought some of it up today, but look,
why is it unfortunate? I mean,
I think because it's important to collect all the facts first, right? So if I hear concerning things, I want to know how accurate that information is before presenting it forward. Otherwise, it makes us go on a wild goose hunt.
Though, Nino, best way to find that out is go to the source.
Yeah. Not wrong. All right.
I think we should schedule a high command meeting.
Yeah.
And
wait till Peter's back.
Those expectations. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be on all y'all schedules there. I think that should be the next step, and I think the mayor's office should have some expectations to put forth by then. I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Take your mind, Moss.
I guess, I mean, I understand Nino saying that he wanted to gather facts, or but at the same time, I don't understand why you didn't just come and talk to me about this.
Because I was tired. I mean, it's really that simple. I don't think anyone should be forced to have a conversation right then and there. And I wasn't going to bring this up till I was ready tomorrow. Want to make sure I'm in the right headspace so I'm not like crashing out over small shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This whole thing is, if I'm honest, this whole thing is just kind of disappointing. I feel like there have been so many like good and positive things that have happened, and
So you want a pat on
like,
the ass?
like a genuinely positive change, and this is what we're talking about.
I mean, you guys pushed me. Like, I mean, what do you want? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like letting it fester isn't going to do any good.
yeah, but what's festering?
Sitting in the back of your brain, that itch, that just fucking scratches.
No.
And
Let's
then
pause. Let's pause here.
Okay.
I didn't have much to say. I'm tired. You said you felt like there was more to this conversation. You went over there. You came back. You asked me for exactly what I'm thinking. You forced some thoughts out of me. And now you're surprised I'm not happy about some things. I mean, what kind of energy were you expecting to come out of that?
I didn't say I wasn't surprised. Obviously, you're not happy.
Yeah. All right. So is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
It's better to hear something than nothing at all.
Okay.
All right. So, in the future, we're just, I guess this goes for you too, Nino, hopefully.
Yeah.
If something like this gets brought, I think we, you needed some time to think it off too. Sure.
Yeah.
I guess you were going to bring it to Moss, so that's fair.
Yeah.
We just got to be honest with each other here, right? Either way.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, for me, it's pretty cut and dry, right?
Right.
There was good accomplishments yesterday, but I'm not willing to, put the fucking flag up and say, hey, we, everything's fucking great. One day of success doesn't mean shit when we have 3 weeks of dog shit. It's really that simple. And I'm sorry I'm putting it so fucking bluntly, but that's what I'm looking at, So I'll be cheering in a week or two, hopefully.
To be fair, I don't think they're looking for a pat on the ass either, right?
Yeah.
I think they're going in the right direction, which is great, and I think that's where we leave it. We get that high command meeting. We could continue to communicate. We all good with that?
I understand you're tired, Nino.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like we do we make the changes that you want.
Yeah, it's
things are good.
Fantastic.
No. Can I speak?
Yeah.
Please?
Go ahead.
We make the changes that you want. We do things, and then it's just something else. It's in your words, dog shit.
I never said that.
It's just like it. I don't. Didn't you say the last 3 weeks were dog shit?
The last 3 weeks were dog shit.
But it's just
and
like,
while the last 2 days have been great, I am not going to say that things are in a great trajectory until we have some days go by and we see how it goes. Listen, I have a different way of thinking. All right. a day or two of success is not a trajectory. We need to see a couple days of it, right? That doesn't, it means like, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen the day after, before I'm willing to sit down and say, you know what, this is good now. We don't know yet.
Okay. More so on that, we need weeks of it.
It's not,
but the foundation is laid, though.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can all agree that the foundation's laid for a better future. We just got to follow through with it. Everyone has to follow through. I think we're kind of going in circles here right now.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, and Moss, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you looking for some sort of answer out of him, or
yeah?
Do you think he's what's your impression right now? You seem to be dissatisfied with his reaction.
I don't know. It's just kind of, and I do understand Nino doesn't really want to talk right now, and I'm sorry that I put you in a position that to speak when you're tired.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm very confused here because, like, Nino.
I don't know.
Let's
hold
our thoughts in and let's continue this another time. Let's continue tomorrow.
I'm not celebrating yet. Like, I mean, you know what I mean?
Are you around tomorrow?
Yeah.
Nino?
Yeah, I'll be around tomorrow.
And well,
we got a lot of meetings tomorrow. I think like 6 or 7 hours of it.
I'm just trying to. I feel like we're going in circles here. I'm trying not to allow us to go into those circles here, but I also want to make sure that you
look. I want to make
well,
I want to make this like one thing clear. Look, I think the decisions that have been made recently are very good, right? And I'm excited for where things go. And my initial reaction, like what feels like 30 minutes ago, was simply to state that I'm not ready to celebrate victory yet until we see some days of success. And I think that's very fair. I'm not saying that you guys are going like backwards or anything that you might be thinking. I'm just not ready to celebrate. It's
I think that's fair.
I feel like I'm getting picked at for a negative reaction.
You think that's fair? Lost. Peters.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let's wrap it up then, and let's have a chat in a couple days. Then, are you around this weekend there, boss?
Yeah, I can be. I will be.
All right. Let's shoot for something this weekend if everyone's good for that.
I won't be around, but I'm sure Moss
you
will.
won't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. We can catch up during the high command meeting, and then maybe this coming weekend we can have a chat, or have a chat if we need to. It doesn't have to be scheduled, or it can be scheduled. It's up to y'all. However y'all want to do it. We should just keep these meetings happening.
I'd like to, if you guys can look into where these rumors are coming from on your end too, I'd appreciate it.
I'll talk to Eric
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Okay. Do we want to wait until the? Sorry.
Listen, I'll find out what he said.
I don't even know who he's saying it to be clear. But like, if there's a bunch of DOC walking around saying it, it's crazy.
All right.
It's not just DOC, mind you. Civilians too.
Well, who else? Civilians? What do you mean?
Yes. Obviously, I can't tell you who.
So what have they said exactly?
They've brought up he's going around telling people he's got promoted. He's getting promoted. He's gone around saying that Nino is the reason Maxwell has the job, in so many words. But he says it in his fucking Swedish way, so God fucking knows the way he's saying it. So I want you to, I hope you guys can.
I don't even know what to say. If he's actually saying that.
Yeah, where else is it coming from? You know what I mean? And this goes on top of.
That's so bad.
I know.
He's actually saying that.
But
that's he can't be a high command member if he's saying that.
I want you to consider on top of this, you know, I hope you guys like I hope you're seeing where my frustration is that then there's like the chief is saying that the pain thing is that I'm keeping you captive as chief of police, right? And this is going around not just the prison, but then it's getting out, right? And then God knows how many officers are hearing this. But then this is on top of like the Reddish thing, right? Which honestly isn't the end of the world because it came over, but even that was going around. Like people
Going around about
the Redditch transferred to the police department well before he was put in as chief.
What do you mean?
Oh my God! Wait, you didn't know this? I'm not reacting at you, but more like fuck. That was another thing that, yeah, no, people knew that Redditch was transferred over like fucking like 48 hours beforehand. Yeah. So it's a lot of, for me taking it, it's like a lot of fucking bullshit over a simple promotion, right? Oh, and then, you know, obviously the entire city asking why, you know, because the thing is, like, from perspective, right? Trig, Vivian, and what's her name? Stevie, working at Senior Buns was not just the PD problem. That was landing on my desk. People asking, is this guy fired? What did he do? Why are all these people over here? Not just there, but then working EMS and then working DOC and shit. It was literally like a citywide bullshit, and then it just starts up all kinds of rumors.
It was broadcasted all over Twitter, to be fair.
Yes,
so.
that as well.
Wasn't
Yes.
made private by any means.
So it was like a public disgrace, quite frankly. It wasn't just isolated, like, oh, they're just doing cutie shit. No, that was fucking bullshit. Like it was fucking bullshit.
How did this turn into such a big thing?
I don't know. Because they advertised it. It wasn't just like they went and did it.
But like there are police officers who go and do other jobs in the city.
Not when you spit it in someone's face to do it. Like, people aren't stupid. And it wasn't they were just wanted some time off. No, they said, fuck my high command. Maxwell should never have been chief, and it was a fucking public protest. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, or like, let's you know, pretend these things were happening. This is how everyone saw it, and that's exactly what it was. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
You need time to look into it. You're not going to have answers here right now. So,
yeah. Look, if either of you guys, either of you took what I said earlier the wrong way, just look, I'll tell you this. Some of this stuff I was hearing like an hour before the meeting. And that with being exhausted, I didn't want to bring up this shit because, you know, I need to make sense of it first, right? Before I just start throwing shit your way. And that's why I didn't want to bring it up right away. You know what I mean? Let it simmer, find out if someone comes back and tells me actually it didn't happen or it did happen. Because then it just becomes, you know, I'm throwing rumor into this mix. So, anyways.
all right.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
All right. Yeah. The fuck? All right.
All right. Then, I mean, I'll be spending some time around here, so, not right now, but
yeah,
in the coming days, with some radio and If you need anything, let me know. All three of you.
Hey. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Anytime.
All right. I'll take care.
There he goes. He's leaving us without even saying goodbye.
Hey, wash your dick. Peters.
Why do I? Why? I
There's still weapons reports where he reported his gun stolen. They're still unaccounted
All right.
for, but they're still giving him hot gun charges.